For centuries, the Egyptian pyramids have fascinated researchers with a huge number of unsolved mysteries. Despite being some of the most famous and extensively studied architectural monuments in the world, there are still more questions than answers when it comes to the pyramids. The main question is the theory of how these mysterious structures were constructed. As technology has advanced and modern research methods such as tomography, modeling, and temperature screening have become available, new data continues to emerge about how ancient architects operated. In today's video, we will try to answer to the still open question: how were the pyramids of Egypt built? Enjoy watching. The Pyramid of Khufu, also known as the Great Pyramid of Giza, constructed during the 4th dynasty by Pharaoh Khufu, Cheops, is the only one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world to have survived to our time. Despite its age of 4,500 years and being the largest of all ancient Egyptian pyramids, there is still debate about how it was built. The Great Pyramid was constructed from more than 2 million huge stones, with the largest blocks weighing several tens of tons. The total weight of the structure, which stands at nearly 140 meters in height, amounted to nearly 6.5 million tons. To prevent the pyramid from sinking into the ground under its own weight, a sturdy rocky foundation was chosen. Granite blocks were transported here from a quarry located 1,000 kilometers away. Scientists have yet to reach a consensus in answering the questions of how were the stones transported and how was the Pyramid of Khufu built. In the meantime, the construction technology of the pyramids is surrounded by myths. The most widespread of these myths claims that the pyramids were built not by Egyptians, but by more ancient or even extraterrestrial civilizations. However, historians working with ancient documents remind us that the Egyptians had a habit of recording everything, and if construction was carried out by extraterrestrial civilizations, it would have certainly been documented in ancient Egyptian sources. Another popular myth suggests that the pyramids encrypted some secret knowledge, even to the point of serving as astronomical observatories. But scientists Jean-Philippe Lauer, Rainer Stadelmann, and Mark Lehner, who dedicated their entire lives to the study of the pyramids, authoritatively state that the majority of mathematical and astronomical theories are based on incomplete or incorrect data. One reason for this is that it has not been proven that the ancient Egyptians possessed the same mathematical apparatus as those studying the pyramids today. Therefore, it is unlikely that some secret knowledge was encoded within them for us. In contrast to the mentioned myth, there is another theory that suggests the pyramids were intended for banal storage of grain. However, modern archaeologists, such as Alice Stevenson from the Museum of Egyptian Archaeology at University College London, did not take such claims seriously. The pyramids in Giza are primarily the tombs of pharaohs, but they also serve as symbols that concentrate the ideological and religious beliefs of ancient Egypt. According to the Egyptians, the deceased could lead an afterlife if 2 conditions were met: if they were provided with everything necessary for existence in this world, and if their body was preserved. As a result of these beliefs, the practice of mummification developed, along with the construction of tombs resembling fortresses. After all, each pyramid was supposed to serve as eternal protection for the body hidden in it. While the question "why were they built" is generally quite clear, the questions "what were they made of" and "how were they built" remain unanswered. Not long ago, the media was overwhelmed by waves of pseudoscientific speculations on the topic of ancient Egyptian construction methods. It is claimed in particular that the stone building blocks used in constructing the pyramids were actually concrete structures. To disprove this fake theory, geologist James Harlow from the University of Toledo had to map 128 ancient quarries across the territory of present-day Egypt and northern Sudan, and investigate the eras when different construction materials were preferred in various parts of the ancient Egyptian state. But now we know that the main construction material in ancient Egypt was relatively soft, easy-to-work sedimentary rock, including limestone and sandstone. Initially, limestone was the main stone used by Egyptian builders because it was more readily available. For example, one of the Great Pyramids, the Pyramid of Khafre in Giza, was constructed from limestone quarried directly nearby. Sandstones were used less frequently due to transportation difficulties and became a popular construction material in later times, less commonly and likely for specific practical or ceremonial purposes, such as fortifying structures or paying honor to a pharaoh or priest. Egyptians also worked with very hard granites, granodiorites, or dense, highly silicified sandstones and basalts. Of the 128 known quarries, 89 produced limestone, 36 sandstone, and 3 gypsum and anhydrite. This is the answer to the question of what the pyramids were built from. To ensure there were no gaps between the large blocks and the structures, as well as no voids and chips, the Egyptians invented their own type of gypsum-based mortar. When this mineral is heated to 100 to 200 degrees Celsius, it loses some of its water content and becomes semi-hydrated burnt gypsum. When mixed with water, the substance crystallizes again as gypsum and sets quickly. Usually stone was extracted from open-air quarries, but when a material of special quality was needed, tunnels were dug up to 100 meters deep into the cliffs. Rectangular blocks were carved out using chisels, saws, and stone sledgehammers. How were these blocks transported to the construction site? A significant discovery was made in 2013 when an ancient papyrus was found at the Wadi al-Jarf seaport. After deciphering the document, scientists learned that during the construction of the Great Pyramid, a team of 40 workers would open dams to divert water from the Nile into artificial canals that led directly to the pyramids. This revealed that the giant stone blocks were mainly transported by water. But how did the Egyptians lift them up? In 2018, archaeologists reported that they had found an ancient ramp system in the eastern desert of Egypt at the Hatnub Quarry. This 4,500-year-old ramp consists of an inclined surface with 2 staircases on the sides and numerous holes in the ground. Archaeologists believe that a group of workers hauled the cargo uphill using ropes threaded through wooden posts, making the task easier for them. There was also evidence of the method they used to move the blocks through the sand. In the tomb of Jehudi-Hotep from the 12th dynasty, there is an illustration of 172 men pulling sleds carrying his statue, which is estimated to weigh 60 tons. In the illustration, a person stands in front of the sleds and pours water onto the sand. The reason for this was unknown until experiments showed that the right amount of moisture in the sand have the required pulling force. With the correct amount of water, wet sand is roughly twice as stiff as dry sand, meaning that sleds slide much more easily on damp sand. Now, a few words about who built the pyramids. All recent historical research strongly refutes the idea that the pyramids were constructed by slaves. Modern findings unequivocally confirm that the tombs of the pharaohs were built by free Egyptians. In confirmation of this, an international team of archaeologists, led by the American Mark Lehner, discovered 2 ancient settlements on the Giza Plateau where the pyramid builders lived. It is known that the builders worked in shifts, with one shift lasting 3 months. The largest workforce was observed for only 4 to 5 months a year, when most people were engaged in moving the stone blocks. According to Mark Lehner's calculations, approximately 20,000 people were involved in the construction project of the Pyramid of Khufu throughout Egypt. Among them, approximately 4,000 people were directly involved in construction work. It is possible that those engaged in less skilled tasks worked in shifts, while professionals were in permanent service to the pharaoh. Archaeologist Richard Redding, based on the analysis of animal bones found during excavations and the protein requirements of a person engaged in heavy labor, estimated the food needs of the pyramid builders. According to his calculations, workers consumed about 1,800 kilograms of meat daily, which is roughly equivalent to 11 cows and 37 sheep and goats. Additionally, in the worker settlements, beer was brewed and bread was baked. As you can see, modern science can tell us a lot about the past. What else would you like to know about the pyramids? Leave your comments below and don't forget to subscribe to the Karo Show channel. Goodbye.